makharijul huruf, points of articulation for alphabets. As we said earlier, there are 5. We have al-khayshum, and al-khayshum means the nostril. The nostril, as we can see here, is the inner part of the nose and not the outer part. So you see the nose here, the nostril. Something comes from there. And the only thing that comes from there in Arabic language is what we call al-ghunnatu. And al-ghunna is actually nice sound that comes from the nostril when we nasalize, called nasalization. When we nasalize, meaning when you're reciting it, when someone says min sharri, min, if you were to hold your nose and you try to make that sound min, you notice a strong pressure coming from inside of the nostril trying to escape. The air coming from inside of your nostril trying to escape shows you that there's a sound coming from that place, and that sound is what we call in Arabic language al-ghunna, nasalization, if you like to call it that way. So that's the only thing that comes from al-khayshum, and that's our first point of articulation. Why are we classifying al-ghunna as one of the points of exit if actually no alphabet comes from there except from this sound, except for this sound? That's because this sound has a lot to do with some 2 alphabets in Arabic language, and that's Nuun and Mim. So whenever we make this sound, it usually has to do with Nuun and Mim. They're actually attributes of some alphabet. That's why we pay attention to this point of exit. And that's the first one, al-khayshum. The next one is called al-jawfu. And al-jawf, as we can see here, refers to the empty space when our mouth is closed. When you see your mouth being closed, you can see this green place is referring to the empty space. When you close your mouth, for instance, if your mouth is in the closed position, you notice that your tongue is not exactly touching the upper part of your mouth. It's only the tip that touch the upper part of the mouth. And if you're just doing that for the first time, I think you owe me one. So when you close your mouth, for instance, it's only the tip of your tongue that touches the roof of your mouth. The other part is not touching. I mean, there's a space there down to the throat. So that empty space from the throat up to the mouth, then out to the atmosphere, is what is called al-jawfu, the cavity. And that's the second point of articulation. You want to know what are the letters that come from this al-jawf. It's simple, and I'm going to tell us this. They are the 3 alphabets of mad. We know we have alphabets of mad: alif mad, waw mad, and ya mad. So those are the 3 letters that come from al-jawf. Al-jawf produces 3 letters: alif mad, waw mad, and ya mad. Keeping in mind that alif mad is different from hamza or alif, waw mad is different from an actual waw, and ya mad is different from an actual ya. So for instance, when you say ah, you can see that you are not making contact with any part of your body. When you say ooh, no contact with the inner part. E, no contact with the inner part. Yes, there's pressure and vibration from some parts of our body, but no contact. That's why we refer to it as al-jawf. And that's number 2. And the third one is called al-halqu. Al-halqu, as we can see here, refers to the throat. You can see in this image here, it refers to the throat. Now, from this throat, 6 good letters come out of it. 6 letters come out of it. We'll be looking at those 6 letters, inshallah. If you remember in the poem, the author says, لِلْحَلْقِ سِتٌّ وَتِّبَتْ فَلْتَعْرِفِ فَالْأَوَّلُ الْإِظْهَارُ قَبْلَ أَحْرُفِ لِلْحَلْقِ سِتٌّ وَتِّبَتْ فَلْتَعْرِفِ. We have our answer right there. He said that the letters of idhar are actually the letters of the throat, and they are what? 6, and they have been arranged strategically, which we'll be looking at, inshallah. Then the next one, the next point of articulation is ash-shafatan. Ash-shafatan here refers to the lips, the 2 lips. We use the lips to pronounce some alphabets. Actually, those letters that come from the lips are actually very few as well. But if you look at al-lisan, which is the 5th one, that's the tongue. The tongue produces majority of the alphabet we have in Arabic language. It produces majority of the alphabet we have in Arabic language. So we have 5 major points of articulation. We have the khayshum, we have al-jawf, we have al-halq, we have al-shafatan, and we have al-lisan. Again, al-khayshum, the nostril, al-jawf, the cavity, al-halq, the throat, al-shafatan, the lips, al-lisanu, the tongue. Now, the reason I'm telling us this, or this is relevant to what we are doing, is the author has made it important for us by his mention of al-halq. He says, فَالْأَوَّلُ الْإِظْهَارُ قَبْلَ أَحْرُفِ الْحَلْقِ, meaning the first ruling of Nuun Saakinah and Tanween is whenever a Nuun Saakinah or Tanween comes before or in contact with the letters of the throat. And again, we remember the letters of the throat are how many? They are 6 in numbers. So if you can know the letters of the throat by heart, then you watch out for whenever a Nuun Saakinah or Tanween comes in contact with them, then bingo, there you have your ruling, al-idhar, being applied on Nuun Saakinah or Tanween. As for shafatan or al-lisan, those are not our concerns for now. Al-jawf is also not our concern. Al-khayshum is also not our concern. So when next you hear al-halq as the point of articulation, then you know for a fact what is being referred to, and also you know how many letters come from there.